Okay, Alvaro Rocha asks, I have really liked the idea of a sign and sheet and have done mechanic work for about 18 years and I've been starting to flip cars. I've been doing a little Facebook advertisement. They have this group where I can post anything for free, but my question is, what advice can you give me? I had to start all over again. Tool buying, I do a lot of mobile mechanic. I don't mind it. I like to do it at my house. Got a pretty decent little shop, huge compressor, jack stands, all the basics. I work in and getting specialty tools. And I got air tools. What do you suggest? Periods. You gotta get periods in here. This is what I mean by me rewording things in my mind. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I write. I'm a writer. And I'm just like, oh shit. Okay. All right. The question. Let me find the question. What advice can you give me if I had to start all over again? Tool buying. That's a really broad question, Alvaro. I mean, it sounds like you already have everything you need. I mean, you just need your basic hand tools, your shop equipment, your air compressor. Go watch my 10 tools that you need to open up a shop video. If you're doing side work at your house, if that's what you want to do, if you want to open up a shop, then just buy your basic hand tools, basic sanders, basic equipment. If you want to open up a, auto body shop, you're going to need different tools. So it's kind of a broad question. I wish you would have given me a more specific question so I could have answered it better. I'm not too sure on what you mean. I think you mean what tools are the most important for starting off mechanics, which is actually a good topic for a video that I will do actually. It's a good one. New tools for starting mechanics. It's a really good video. So I'll make that video off the top of my head, basic tools, Go watch my toolbox tour of my black toolbox. That one has all of my basic tools that I can use to fix any car. It doesn't have very specific tools, like, to do very specific things, but it has basically everything you need. That's the only thing I could really say on that question. I hope that helped. Okay, Chris Mecca. How slow was the first 2 years of opening up your shop? It wasn't too slow. I'm in my year. This is year two and like 4 months. We're busy as fuck because we have a huge demand for good mechanics, and I know how to tell people that I'm in business. So if you use the same ideas that I teach you, you won't be slow for very long. Unfortunately, I didn't start my side hustle with building up clientele because I started flipping cars for like a year and a half, 2 years before I opened up the shop. So I didn't really have a huge clientele already ready to go. So do as I say, not as I do. But in the first month, we had like 20 cars that we serviced. And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So we were never really that slow because like I said, I had all my advertising ready to go, ready to fucking fire off. So I wasn't ready to tell people I was in business. And the mistake a lot of mechanics make is that they don't think as a business owner, they just think as mechanics. They just think that just because they open their doors, people are gonna fucking fly in, and that's not the case. With any business, your marketing is as important as your service, because people have to know that you're open for business. So as a mechanic, you have to have all your ideas ready and fire them off, ready to go. So yeah, I wasn't slow. I wasn't slow at all. I'm not slow now. I'm busier. I'm fucking busy as fuck. Because I implemented all my ideas for marketing right away as soon as I opened up my business. So yeah, I wasn't very slow for 2 years. I was actually really busy. But to take those ideas that I teach you guys, and you won't be slow either. You'll have a lot of customers if you just start implementing these techniques. Go read NestorMendoza.com for more information on how to market. Grizzly AutoWorks asks, "Hey Nestor, my question is, Is it better to just jump in and learn on the job from starting as a loop tech and gaining more experience, or go to trade school to become a mechanic? I think I've already answered this in a couple other questions, a few questions, in this video. Learn on the job, get a job, learn as much as you can as a mechanic, then go to trade school, maybe like a year after you get your first job as a loop tech or mechanic, so you have a better idea on what they're teaching you. You have a better idea of what the theory of automotive is. Because if you have the experience of working on cars, you'll be able to ask better questions, you'll be able to wrap your mind around how things work properly, and you'll have good questions to ask your professors, because when they talk about AC systems and you say, hey, but like I was working on this other car with my other mechanic, and then like the gauges would fluctuate, what does that mean? And they would say, or the gauges would like go really high and they would stop. And I would hear the compressor turn on and off, and then they would say, oh, it's probably because the fan wasn't working and it wasn't drawing in air to cool down the AC system. You'll have better questions to ask. But go watch those other, hopefully I gave enough information to answer that question in more detail. Hold on, let me replace the battery. Okay. Hey Nestor, so Grizzly, okay. Edwin Cortez asks, why don't you have a tire machine or wheel balancing machine? I get you're not a tire shop, but sometimes customers prefer to get everything done in one shop. What do you tell your customers who go for tire replacements? Okay, I answered this in another question earlier. Basically, tire shops are not profitable. For me to do tires, let me go back. Okay, I explained in another video in last Sunday Business Talk why tire shops and smock shops and even lube shops are profitable, because they do high quantity of work that only profits them a very little bit amount of money. For tires, I would have to store right around $200,000 worth of inventory of tires to be able to do the amount of work to be profitable. So it is not feasible for me to, number one, store $200,000 worth of freaking inventory, two, park $200,000 worth of inventory in a freaking warehouse, and three, I don't want to freaking advertise for a tire shop. It's not fucking worth it. I mean, a tire, you're gonna make $5. Why am I gonna spend all that money and park all that money into, into inventory if I'm not gonna make a lot of money? It's not worth it. Anyways, go check out that question that I answered in the earlier question about why. Okay. RKP Garage asks, woo! Okay. RKP Garage asks, is there a higher stress level when working alone in a shop? And how do you deal with working on car alone when you need a hand? Okay. No, I answered this question earlier also. The stress level is very minimal because I make sure I give myself enough time to do everything that I need to do, and I make sure the customers leave the car. Go watch that and go listen to that answer on the other question in earlier this video to get the full answer for that. I use the guerrilla mindset techniques to calm myself down and not stress the fuck out. But go watch that part. How do you deal with working on your own when you need a hand? Okay, well, I talk to my neighbors. And I'm really cool with them. And when they need a hand, I go help them out. If they need to push a car, I go help them. If they need a tool, I help them. But I also expect them to help me. And that's kind of how it works, with any community. You help each other out, and you don't hold resentment against each other, So you just help each other out. And if I need a hand, I just go and ask my buddy Kyle or anybody here if they can give me a hand. They're more than happy to do it. So yesterday's video, I needed to check suspension, and I can't check suspension by myself, so I had to go ask Kyle to come and help me, and he did. So I just go and ask people to help me out, and they do. Now, if you work in like a standalone shop, like a gas station or something like that, ask the gas station attendant to help you. I'm sure there's ways for you to check things out. I mean, if you have all the equipment, you could pretty much do anything by yourself if you really want to. it makes it easier if you have a hand, but sometimes I mean, you can do everything by yourself, essentially. And if there's a will, there's a way. But if you have people around you that can help you out, just ask them and they'll be able to help you.